do stuff that really comes out of nowhere. Characters do random stuff that really makes no sense. But despite that, it's still a good movie. It's nothing really much to say, but it's at least a good movie, and hopefully if this is part of the Monster Cinematic Universe, then hopefully there will be more movies out. And yes, and I am looking forward to the upcoming Mummy remake. That's really got me interested, even if I'm not really a fan of the guy behind it. Anyway, so yeah, number 9. Into the Storm. This was a movie I really didn't want to see. It just from the way it looked rather dull. It looked like a rather dull movie, and seeing the reviews, there were some mixed feelings. But from some reviews, people just thought it was a rather dull, boring experience. However, while going into the store with my brother and my dad, I saw 2 movies, Chronicle and Into the Storm. I bought them, and if you guys are wondering, yes, I do love Chronicle. Yes, I'm looking forward to the fantastic film. And also, I saw Into the Storm, and let me tell you, it's not as great as Chronicle. But whatever, it's not really a Chronicle movie. It's not a perfect film. There are some things that I didn't like. Actually, you know what? Screw it. It was a good movie. And I think it's a lot of fun. It does get kind of a little dull toward the end. It's a little dull in the second act, but it's managed to pick itself up at some points. If you guys are wondering, the music by Brian Taylor, I want to mention a few people who do like Brian Taylor scores, like the score for AVPR and Iron Man 3 are really great. But the score for The Dark World was really lame. Actually, no, and also the score for TMNT was actually really good. But my biggest but the score for this movie was just not memorable. It was rather dull as hell. But anyway, I do like the cast in this movie. The cast are really a lot of fun. The CGI is cheesy but fun, and there are some great memorable things in this movie. Overall, the only negative I can say about the film is that maybe the film doesn't really know what it wants to be. Maybe my biggest problem with the film is that the film doesn't really know what it wants to be. Is that it doesn't know if it wants to be a found footage film or just a movie. Because if you guys don't know, there are moments in the movie where it's a found footage movie. Like when the characters are like filming the camera, and it feels like a found footage movie. But then when you get into when you get into this huge truck, which I don't really know what it is, it turns into a movie. And even when characters are holding 2 cameras, it kind of feels like a movie, and you feel like there's a cameraman there. And not to mention, there are some unnecessary shots of something up in the air, watching people in their vehicles, and it kind of does detract you from the movie. But it's still a fun movie. It's a movie I'm not going to watch multiple times, but it's still a rather good movie. Okay, now number 8. Now this is where the good stuff comes. Number 8, Non-Stop. A movie that is starring Liam Neeson, directed by Jean-Claude Serra, and the second installment in the Unknown trilogy by the 2. This was a film that I got really interested in, and this was also a film that I bought a couple of days after Unknown. Yeah, go figure. Non-Stop I think is a lot better than Unknown, and I think it's actually one of the most fun movies of it all. I think it's a rather fun, intense, and rather moving action thriller, because there are some moving moments in this, and some very good character moments. There are some great things in this movie, and the cinematography by Jean-Claude Serra is extremely great. One of my favourite scenes is a very long take. If you watch the film, you know what I mean. It's a very well done film. And the action scenes, while they are a little too fast cut, I could see what's going on, and I could at least see what was going. Yeah, I could at least see what was going on. The movie is extremely well written, and there are some great things in it. And one of the surprising things about this movie was actually Scott McNairy, who I really see at first, because at first I just thought he was Moriarty from Sherlock, until I found out he was from that rather mediocre Monsters movie. But he was not, but I thought he was a lot better in this movie. My only problem though, is that there are some characters in this movie that are a little underdeveloped. Like, some characters come into the scene and then, so the characters just come into a scene, they talk and then they leave and they don't come back to the movie. They either disappear in the movie or they just don't do anything for the rest of the movie. Not to mention that yeah, that's probably my only complaint. Yeah. Whatever. In the end, I feel like Non-Stop, despite that problem, it's a very fun movie. It's a very intense one, and it's something that I probably will see again. Alright? Really great movie. I love Liam Neeson. Love everything about this movie, aside from supporting characters being severely undeveloped. But yeah. Number 7. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I wasn't originally going to give this on my top list, but I just decided what the hell. But I will say it's not a rather perfect film. Whatever, it's still a lot better. I will say that the film did I did get to use the film as the film went on, and as the times went on when I kept watching it. But, okay, my problems with the film is that the characters are a little, the characters are a little bit of cliche. There are some very cliche moments, not to mention, the third act of the film goes into a very painful thing I hate about family films, where it goes into that very stupid cliche. If you've seen the film, you know what I mean. I hate it when movies go into that. But, not to mention, the first 10 minutes of this movie is a little cheesy and that. But, whatever, it's still a good movie. The animation, I will say, is great. The direction by Rob Minkoff, who's the director of The Lion King, and the rather underrated, Haunted Mansion film. He did a really great job with this movie. The voice acting is really great. I liked some of the moments in it, and there were some very funny moments in it. Pardon. Could it have been better? Yeah. It's not a bad movie, even if it does suffer from some problems. Anyway, number 6. Number 6, The Muppets Most Wanted. I have not seen the first one, if you're wondering. And if you guys think I'm grateful, well, to be perfectly honest, if it wasn't for my parents, then I may have saw it. To see this one, I was not really looking forward to it. But I was pleasantly surprised. I think it was a very funny movie. There are some music that I love in the film. The songs are kind of hit and miss in this movie. Some are catchy, some are not. I like the actors in this movie, and I do love some of the stuff in it. It does go for the kind of family cliches in it, but I didn't really seem to care because I was having tons of fun with the film. Yeah. It's a very funny movie. There are some... The ending, I will say, is a little too cliche. But whatever. I like the movie. It has some great laughs. It has a kind of chuckle-worthy laughs. The songs were catchy for some. And I like the villain, Constantine. Not to be confused with the DC Comics one. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about, but it's a really funny movie, and it's just a fun movie. If you have children, they're gonna love it. Okay, number 5. This is where it's gonna split people in half on whether or not they like this movie. So yeah. Number 5, Godzilla 2014. Originally, I was gonna have this on my number 3 spot, but I thought it'd be fair if I just put this on the number 5 spot, since there's many other great movies that are probably better than this. But anyway, Godzilla to me is a very underrated movie, and this is actually coming from someone who like the Roland Emmerich movie. And if you guys are wondering, no, I have not watched any Godzilla movie. So, this is coming from the person who watched the 1954 movie and the 1998 movie. I will agree the 1954 movie is a lot better, but the 1998 movie is it's a fun movie. It's a popcorn flick. Not a good Godzilla film, but as it stands, it's a rather fun movie. For this Godzilla movie, however, I will say, this probably will rank, probably my closest, maybe my second favourite Godzilla film, because I still think the 1954 film was a rather intriguing and enjoyable film. There are some moments in this movie that are a little slow, but I did it for it was enjoyable. The movie looks very beautiful. The movie looks very beautiful. The movie looks very beautiful, and I feel like the director Gareth Edwards did a great job. Which is also another surprising thing, because going into this movie, I was not really expecting anything from this director. He did Monsters, which was, again, a movie that I did not like. I didn't really appreciate as much as anyone else. I can respect him for trying something different, and I do applaud him for trying something new, and trying to do something that's not just a complete creature feature, but I kind of wish he was doing something else with the story of Monsters. With this movie, he knows what he's doing, and I do applaud him for it. I can see people's complaints. Now I just want to get this out of the way before I get back to the things I love the most about this film. Many people have complained that the title character, Godzilla, is barely in the movie. And I'm sure many are probably going to be one of the, and you probably going to think one of the many few people is probably going to come up and say that they're stupid, they don't know anything about Godzilla film. I'm not, because again, one, I have not watched a Godzilla film. Two, if they don't like that kind of thing, then I'm perfectly okay with it. It's their opinion. I'm not going to bash them for it. It's their own opinion. If they didn't like Godzilla because Godzilla was barely in the movie, then that's fine. I'm not going to bash them for it. It's their own opinion. It's people's opinions. People just go with it. And three, I'm perfectly okay with it. I'm perfectly okay with Godzilla barely being in it. Do I think there should be more battles with him and Yuto in the film? Yes, I do agree there should have been more battles in this movie. But I still found the movie intriguing, even if the Godzilla was barely in it. But I will say that the characters are a little weak, but I still thought that some of them were very enjoyable. I like Bryan Cranston's character. I think that alongside Godzilla, he was the best thing in this movie. And he had some very emotional things to this movie, and he gave a really great opening, which was really funny. I mean, no, not funny. What? Very emotional. I wish he had a lot more to do with this movie, but it did impress me. But yeah, the movie it's a very good movie, a very good looking film. The action scenes are when they are done are really well choreographed, and you can see what they're doing, even if the film's entirely in the dark and to find about. The design of Godzilla is also my favorite thing. He's amazing in this movie. He's amazing in the film, and I really liked the way he looked. The Mutants, I thought they were a good villain. I thought they were very great villains. Yeah. And yeah, nothing more to say about this movie. Godzilla is a very underrated film. Yes, there could have been more action, and yes, Godzilla could have been a little more in it, but for someone who's entirely new to the Godzilla universe, I'm perfectly okay with these things. I'm perfectly okay with it. And I hope the sequel. Now, so yeah, this movie's good. But as I mentioned, the sequel to this movie, which will be slated for a 2018 release date since Gareth is directing the Star Wars spin-off film, I have high hopes, and I hope the sequel to this movie is great. Because if it isn't, then let's just face it, I'd rather watch Godzilla's Revenge, which I've heard is terrible. Talking Godzilla, really? I've not seen the film, but my friend mentioned how stupid that was. So yeah.